Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ColoradoSports.TV, bringing you all this 2014 Mayday Mayhem madness that's going on out here. If you tuned into the last game, Slaughterhouse pulling out another win.
Just by 1 point over Sioux City, the defending champions.
The defending champions, and also a much higher ranked team. Well, at the beginning of this tournament, if you follow Flat Track Stats, Slaughterhouse has had some good bumps. But we're in gear check now for the juniors bout, and it's going to be the FOCO Spartan Babes taking on the Slaughterhouse Veal Appeal. I'm going to go ahead and run through the roster for FOCO. The Spartan Babes are going to be number 7, Fireball, number 97, Terminator, number 27.3, Brawl of the Wild, number 20, Crazy Diva, number 321, Mia Psycho, number 62, Zombie, number 988, I Gnarly, numbers 00, D Blue Demon, number 2, Allison Chains, number 6, Linda Cavalry, and their coach will be Iona Switchblade. The captain for the FOCO Spartan Babes, number 66, Luna Shovegood.
And the Slaughterhouse Veal Appeal, number 712, Sunny with a Chance of Bruises. Number 8, Abriza Wind. Number 87, Spitfire. Number 88, Slayer Moon. Number 20, Daisy Jukes. Number 22, Punk O. 257, Weird Harold. Number 3, Banana Split Your Lip. 007, Meet Your Maker. And their captain, number 7, Hannah Smash Tana.
And I forgot to write it down on the rosters, but their bench coach 00, KO Mama, is bench coaching for the Veal Appeal today.
Veal Appeal will be in the red uniforms. Spartan Babes in the purple.
I guess we should introduce ourselves, too. I am Bangers and Smash.
I am Wilhelm Scream.
And it sounds like we're about to get things started. I see some jammer caps being put on, and I see people coming onto the track.
Number 87 is Spitfire. 88, Slayer Moon. Number 257, Weird Harold. And 712 is Sunny with a Chance of Bruises. And that is your utter destruction.
Alrighty, lining up to jam for the Spartan Babes, number 20, Crazy Diva. We'll tell you who it is for Veal Appeal as soon as we're able to see.
That looks to be also number 20, Daisy Jukes, 20 against 20.
Lead jammer going to the FOCO Spartan Babes. Both jammers out there looking to chase each other down. And it looks like Crazy Diva looking behind her to see where the other jammer is. She's going to enter the pack. I don't see any signal to call it off.
That jammer for FOCO is actually Mia Psycho, number 321.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, apparently we got our numbers backwards there.
Daisy Jukes going through, picking up 4 points.
And Mia Psycho actually getting a back block call, so this turns into a power jam. 4 points going up on the board for Daisy Jukes.
And Slaughterhouse riding high. They have drawn first blood, and their junior team naturally was watching the previous bout, and they might be running a little bit high just off the adult league winning. With first blood, they've got 5 points already.
And they're going to get a little bit more. Oh, they had 4 already. That's another 5. Yeah, that's her second scoring pass. Sorry, we're working on stats. We're getting things fixed on the stats board here, so it's just a little confusing. Another Daisy Jukes, 97 Weird Harold trying to take her out, but she doesn't even let it phase her. 5 more points on the board for Veal Appeal. Spartan Babes, jammer coming back on the track. Mia Psycho picking up 4 points on that pass. Daisy Jukes stuck behind a wall of purple as Mia Psycho comes back into the pack as well.
And Mia Psycho takes a big hit there from Sunny with a Chance of Bruises, number 712. Then collides with Banana Split Your Lip.
Daisy Jukes forced off the track. Mia Psycho now hit the box one more time. Looks like
and Mia Psycho getting a high block called there just before the jam comes to an end. So we're going to start with a power jam for Veal Appeal.
And after that first jam, score is currently 17-5. Slaughterhouse on top, 27-40 left to go in this first half.
12-point differential, already 10 points on a power jam for the Spartan Babes. Weird Harold takes the line for Veal Appeal. I'm actually, that's actually backwards because the stats are still backwards, but 12-point differential in favor of the Veal Appeal. Weird Harold on the inside line finds his hole, takes lead jammer for Veal Appeal.
Mia Psycho still waiting in the penalty box, does stand now, has less than 10 seconds left before she can rejoin.
And Weird Harold back into the pack for his first scoring pass. Gets trapped up there by number 00. That's D Blue Demon for the Spartan Babes. And recycled behind D Blue.
Some good recycling done there by the Spartan Babes. Mia Psycho out of the penalty box, gets tangled up, knocked to the outside over in turn number 1, or turn number 3, correction. I'm so used to the announcers being behind the jammer line that I get the turn number wrong. Mia Psycho completing that initial pass.
Weird Harold into the inside and gonna go ahead and call off the jam. Gets 4 more points, does not pick no point, and does not give up any points to the Spartan Babes. I have forgotten how to speak English this afternoon. And we're gonna line them right back up because we can't believe what our stats are saying. We're gonna wait to tell you who the jammers are.
Score is 21-5, 25-50 left. Slaughterhouse still on top.
And both jammers breaking the pack at the same time.
As Terminator for Foco and number 3, Banana Split Your Lip and Slaughterhouse.
Terminator got lead jammer, but Banana Split Your Lip was in front of her, so she's going to go ahead and call off that jam. Probably a wise strategic decision with the Spartan Babes being down such an amount.
And Spartan Babes are also right now holding a 4-2 pack advantage. Slaughterhouse about to get one of their blockers back in the next 10 seconds.
We got to thank all the great folks that have volunteered their efforts, their time, their money, whatever it is.
Looks like 00 D Blue Demon lined up for the Spartan Babes.
Thank you, all of our.
She's taken to the infield and going to have to recycle. Meanwhile, the Daisy Jukes for Veal Appeal at the front of the pack. They're able to clear the wall. She takes lead jammer, and right behind her, though, D Blue Demon really able to blast through that pack.
And forcing that issue, forcing that early call off, preventing Slaughterhouse from putting any points up, also keeping Foco within that spitting distance of that lead.
21-5 with 24-28 remaining in the period. And we're going to line him back up.
Appreciate it. And we are lined up, ready to go. Looks like a line defensive advantage. Breeza waiting to start this jam from the penalty box.
The Slaughterhouse still with 1 in the penalty box. They're down in the pack 4-3.
That's number 988 Gnarly taking lead jammer for the Spartan Babes.
And jammer for Slaughterhouse with Weird Harold. Weird Harold gets knocked to the outside, has to recycle back in deep. Goes back all the way to turn number 2.
Did Gnarly coming in for her first scoring pass. Comes up against number 87 Spitfire at the front there, but able to clear through and take 5 points for the Spartan Babes.
It almost looked for a moment like Spitfire was kind of holding back because it would be so easy against someone the height of Gnarly to end up picking up a high block penalty.
That's absolutely true. Spitfire, like towering over everybody out there, is going to have to watch out for those high block calls on the shorter players. But that's a danger you run into in junior roller derby. You know, everybody has their growth spurts at different times. Gnarly now fighting that wall again. Takes a hit from number 22.
Big collision there from Punko.
And she calls off the jam. Weird Harold did get in and pick up 4 more points for Slaughterhouse.
That's going to make the score 25-14. Slaughterhouse still on top. 22 minutes, 50 seconds left.
Under 23 minutes left here in our first period.
Once we start getting some stats, we'll share it with you. Right now, the stats machine appears to be broken. So again, we're gonna have to wait for the jammers to be able to see who they are, but we'll tell you who they are as soon as we know. Number 6 for the Spartan Babes, that's going to be Linda Calaveri jamming, takes lead jammer for the Spartan Babes, but the jammer for
Slaughterhouse,
Peel.
that is Banana Split Your Lip. And Banana Split Your Lip trying to put a little bit of speed on, a little bit of outside, inside.
And it looks like 4 for 4. Banana Split Your Lip able to hit the back of that pack and get in there before the whistles were blown. It's going to put us at 29-18 with 21:56 remaining on the clock.
22 minutes left in our first period.
That appears to be Daisy Jukes on the line as the jammer for Slaughterhouse. Can't quite see who the Foco jammer is. She's actually hiding behind the
And we'll know in just a moment, though. She clears that pack quickly. It's number 20, Crazy Diva. This time it really is Crazy Diva jamming for...
It is truly that
Spartan
20 against 20 that we talked about in the first jam.
That is it. Lead jammer goes to the Spartan Babes. And Crazy Diva back in. I hear some whistles being blown. I see it that the Veal Appeal are losing a blocker to the penalty box. Through, we've got Crazy Diva putting up 4, and also Daisy Jukes putting up 4. 20 versus 20.
4 points apiece.
And 4 apiece. Crazy Diva calling off that jam. No further points being awarded, but
Looks like we're going
once again, Foco just keeping it within reach.
Absolutely, yeah, and that was 4 for 4 on that jam. So same differential as we go. 33-22, 11 points separate the two teams. 20 minutes, 45 seconds remaining on the clock. I want to tell you about Sticker Giant, custom sticker experts, official sticker company of ColoradoSports.TV. Check them out at www.stickergiant.com. Use the code RollerDerby at checkout, and you can get 10% off your order. Sonny with a chance of bruises, jamming for Veal Appeal is out and lead jammer. Meanwhile, D Blue Demon takes a big hit, falls.
And she got knocked down by the combination of Spitfire and number 88 Slayer Moon. Bounce back up very quickly.
2 points, but wisely.
2 points grabbed by Slaughterhouse during that jam. That's going to make it a 35-22 game. 19:55 left to go.
We are under 20 minutes left.
This is just as intense as some of the other games we've seen in this tournament. The juniors really bringing it today.
And keeping it close and some physicality out there.
There is. These are the more senior juniors that are playing, so that's what we're seeing. Number 66, Luna Shovegood for the Foco Spartan Babes, out and lead. And Weird Harold jamming once again for the Veal Appeal, both on the scoring pass. Weird Harold coming in.
Dancing that outside line, taking that hit, just absorbing a hit from Crazy Diva. 4 points picked up by Foco, 3 by Slaughterhouse.
So
it's going to make it 38-26 with 19 minutes to go in the first half.
That's it. So the Babes are able to close things up just ever so slightly. They're going to have to do a little bit more jammer awareness, I think, so they can shut down any points being picked up by Slaughterhouse.
Right here, that's where we're at.
Looks like Daisy Jukes on the line for Veal Appeal. And she's lead jammer. She clears the front of the pack before even making it into turn number 2.
And that is Linda Calaveri for the Spartan Babes.
And Daisy Jukes coming back in. She takes a hit to the infield. She's going to go ahead and call off the jam. 0 points for either team on that pass. So we're going to stay at 38-26. Butcher Babes staying ahead at the moment.
Yeah, the only thing we've lost is a little bit of time off the clock. And if you have been enjoying the coverage brought to you on ColoradoSports.TV, there is a donate button in the lower right of the screen. Click on that. Feel free to give what you can. Help us defray the cost of streaming. Streaming is not free by any means. Help make sure that you can continue to watch all of Mayday Mayhem 2014.
Number 87, Spitfire, saw her way over the pack, found a hole, and takes lead jammer, but we have a skater down. EMT is being called to the track. This is a great time to say thank you to the medical staff who've been here for us all weekend long, taking care of the skaters.
It looks like that might be number 97 for Foco Terminator.
This is a hard floor to land on. That is for sure. I've seen a lot of these hits landing people on the floor hard too. So we're gonna let the EMTs check her out, and we'll be right back. So what are you thinking about this game so far?
It's very, very hard fought. The fact that both teams are just running neck and neck, and then that jammer awareness you talked about, it's clear that's something that adult teams have problems with as well. So seeing that the junior teams are already starting to adjust to try and figure out where that jammer is and try and minimize the damage being done by the non-lead is really kind of an amazing thing, and it's why the junior kids, when they get to the adult leagues, it makes such an impact.
Well, think about it. When we were growing up, in the current generation of awesome derby out there, we didn't have roller derby leagues we could go practice at. But these kids are between the ages of 12 and 18. So those that are starting at 12, by the time they're 18, they've got 8 years under their belt of roller derby practice, maybe more if they started on the more juniors teams. Yeah. And so they're going to be bringing it. We've already seen that from some who've graduated.
When they hit those adult leagues, they'll already have more experience than the people that are currently the top flight derby players in the world. It's just been amazing to see. And I come from Minneapolis, where there's some very strong junior leagues as well. And it's just watching the juniors skate. It actually kind of makes me envious, because I can't skate anywhere near as well as any of these young adults.
Alrighty, so we're back into the action. Spitfire jamming again for VL Appeal. Gets out lead jammer, and we're in a power jam. Looks like there must have been a penalty issued on looks like Terminator before she left. And so iNarly is out to jam for the Spartan Babes. Takes a big hit as she comes back into the pack. Jam comes to an end.
Spitfire calling off that jam wisely. 4 points.
There is an elbow call that I saw. I'm going to see who reports to the penalty box for that.
And right now, with about 16
it's going to be number 7, Hannah Smash Tana, being called for an elbow. So that means a pivot down for Slaughterhouse as we get started in the next jam.
That penalty is assessed to the team captain for Slaughterhouse.
Okay, so we've got number 20, Crazy Diva, taking on 8, Abriza Wind. Abriza Wind's first time on the jam line. And Abriza clearing through, taking lead jammer for VL Appeal.
Crazy Diva just finding an opening on the inside, knifing through to complete that initial pass herself. Number 22, Punko, on her way to the penalty box.
Big hit.
Big collision.
Crazy Diva came in, and the ref's not concerned that it was after the whistle. So 2 points for the Spartan Babes, 1 point for the VL Appeal. I think. Yep, there it is.
That puts the score at 43-28. 15 minutes, 40 seconds left to go. Slaughterhouse still on top, holding a 15-point lead.
Looks like we may have gotten some of the stats issues taken care of, so we'll be able to give you a little more feedback. It looks like we're going to be going into a timeout.
But we have a question.
Is it an official timeout?
If we do have somebody with that kind of training.
Mayday Mayhem competitors and spectators are here in Loveland, Colorado, where it's a beautiful, snowy day outside. We're here at the Ranch, which is Northern Colorado's premier events hosting center. You can check them out at treeventscomplex.com for a complete list of their upcoming events. They do everything from corporate meetings to regional trade shows to roller derby tournaments and premier livestock events right here. I've been pretty impressed with the facility they provided for Mayday Mayhem.
It's an incredibly beautiful facility. Weather notwithstanding, but so many of us are coming from also cold climates that it's kind of like we've traveled to go home.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I can honestly say I've lived here for a very long time. It's not like it never happens, but it's unusual for snow to be this late in the year, especially this heavy, wet stuff that we've got going on. But it does make it look beautiful outside until people start walking in it or cars start driving
Exactly.
Get the word, we'll get started once again.
And if you are watching on ColoradoSports.TV, there's also bouts that are being streamed from the Thin Air Throwdown happening in Denver.
No, unfortunately, those were unable to get down there because of weather.
Because of the weather.
So those aren't being brought to you. So this is what you get today, and it's really awesome here. I mean, that Slaughterhouse game was awesome. These juniors are really bringing it for you. We're getting back into it. 7-1-12. Sunny with a chance of bruises, already lead jammer.
Yeah, and the Spartan Babes jammer is number 20. Crazy Diva still cooling her heels in the penalty box right now. Sunny with a chance of bruises, trying to fight and just jumping, dodging over Deep Blue Demon. Deep Blue Demon picking up a low block penalty. Also a penalty being assessed to number 321, Mia Psycho. That's going to send 2 blockers from Foco into the penalty box, just as Crazy Diva coming out of the penalty box, and Sunny with a chance of bruises calling it off. The score currently stands 48-28. 14 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in the first half.
28, utter destruction.
So much better now. We can actually tell you who the jammers are because we've got a person locking it in for our stats for us. Number 6, Linda Calaveri, coming up on the jam line for Foco, and number 20, Daisy Jukes for Veal Appeal.
And here we go. Double jammers on the track this time.
Daisy Jukes pushing out to the front. She's able to squeeze past her with a little bit of a fall. Luna Shubgood tries to swallow her back into the back, but she's already got lead, and now she's out for score.
Yeah, Daisy Jukes out and open. She just squirted her way through. There is a penalty being assessed to Linda Calaveri, cutting the track. She's going to go and spend some time in the penalty box. 30-second penalty. And that's going to put Daisy Jukes on the power jam. 5 points on that scoring pass. Spartan Babes getting back 2 of their blockers from the penalty box as they send 1 in, keeping a little bit of a rotation, keeping our penalty timers busy. That is Brawl of the Wild that was sent in the penalty box. And Daisy Jukes picking up a back block penalty. That is going to send her into the penalty box, and it will lead to a jammer swap.
So we'll be without a jammer for just a moment. You got to get around the track and sit down. And here she comes back. Number 6, Linda Calaveri. Gonna go and see if she can put some points up for the Spartan Babes. They really need this power. They need these power points. We got to see if it's gonna happen for her. That was just her initial pass. So
and it turns out that she actually did finish her penalty just before Daisy Jukes entered the box. So Daisy Jukes has the full 30 seconds to serve, but she is on her final 10 seconds. Standing up right now, Linda Calaveri trying to find an opening, gets around on the outside, grabs 5 points for the Spartan Babes.
5 points in the process.
And Daisy Jukes coming out of the penalty box, trying to call off the jam, forgetting that once you've gone into the penalty box, you lose lead jammer status. So this is a full 2-minute jam.
It absolutely is. And Daisy Jukes making quick work of the pack. 1 blocker left to go, but
Deep Blue Demon got over Deep Blue Demon.
No call on that one, so it was all legal. 4 points go up for Daisy Jukes. Another 4 for Linda Calaveri as she goes through. Timeout being called by the Spartan Babes. We've got 12:06 showing on the clock, 41-58. Wow. Just
Slaughterhouse still holding that lead, and Foco just keeps climbing back in, keeping it within that reach. If they get 1 big power jam, we could easily see this score flip. But both these teams, they're also both playing with only about 10 players on their bench, so you're seeing a lot of heavy rotation for some of these skaters. And you're not really seeing any exhaustion or wear yet. It might come into play a little bit in the second half, though, with those short benches.
Absolutely. I mean, but they're young, right? They've got plenty of energy. I know for me, I got to eat a lot of carbs to be able to put out even as much energy as they put out for us already.
Again, these juniors they're playing very physically. But they're playing smart too. There hasn't been a lot of power jams for either team, only 3 apiece. And the power points have been fairly limited as well.
Absolutely. Only 9 points being given up on the power points side of the house. 19 being earned by the Spartan Babes and 10 by Veal Appeal. But so far, Veal Appeal really able to dominate the lead calls, and that makes a big difference. We got Terminator 97 for Spartan Babes. Takes lead jammer quickly, and then right behind her, 712 Sunny with a chance of bruises, coming through, trying to chase her down.
Terminator coming in a little bit hot to that pack. It's like no harm, no foul. Does grab 2 points, calls off the jam. 1 point picked up by Slaughterhouse. That's going to put the score at 53-43. 11 minutes, 39 seconds left to go. And looks like it turns out that, yes, there was a penalty that was assessed as the jam was expiring to Terminator. That is going to put the Spartan Babes on the penalty kill. Veal Appeal with a power jam.
A breeze of wind out there jamming for Veal Appeal. Gets a cut like right off the line, so she's going to head off to the penalty box in a moment. We're going to see number 97 Terminator return to the track for the Spartan Babes.
And a breeze of wind's going to serve the exact same amount of time that Terminator did. Terminator trying to cut through the pack. Comes dodging around, gets through and grabs lead jammer status. Definitely a technique that she's picked up from some of the adults is just kind of put your nose to the grindstone and fight through the middle of that pack.
It's probably the safest place to go. If you go on either side, these juniors have been able to shove you out and force those cuts.
And Terminator keeping that skate on the track border, which does count as inbounds territory, grabs all 5 points on that scoring pass.
A breeze of wind is free and coming up on the pack. Let's see if Terminator knows she's there. Spitfire getting a cutting penalty, so she's off to the penalty box. Jam comes to an end. 2 more points for both jammers in that last pass.
Terminator was trying to frantically call off that jam, but she was on the far side of the track, while the outside pack officials were actually looking at some potential issues possible with the penalty against Spitfire. So they did slightly miss it. Score is 56-50. The Spartan Babes just down by 6. We've got 9 minutes, 48 seconds left to go in the first half.
Spartan Babes looking to make a lead change here as they field double Blue Demon, or D Blue Demon, and Hannah Smashed Hannah up for the Veal Appeal. It's the first time we've seen her jam. Hannah Smashed Hannah with a nice spin move. Comes out of the back, takes lead jammer, then has a little spill, but she's able to get out. And it looks like she's going to be recycled. So she's going to go ahead and call off the jam. D Blue Demon was out and trying for those points.
Yeah, it was a great defensive play by Linda Calaveri to knock Hannah Smashed Hannah to the outside and then force her back deep, allowing the Spartan Babes jammer to get free. So we've got no score change, still 56-50, 9 minutes to go in the first half.
And it's going to be number 20, Daisy Jukes for Veal Appeal, taking on number 66, Luna Shovegood. I love that play on that name.
Daisy Jukes getting tangled up right at the jam line. Luna Shovegood making it to the pivot line, but gets tangled up with a breeze of wind. Luna Shovegood fights her way through, picks up lead jammer status. Daisy Jukes finally getting around as well to complete her initial pass. But Luna Shovegood already coming around for a scoring pass. Finds a seam on the inside, does go down, but no harm, no foul. Daisy Jukes getting tangled up there.
Actually, looks like a misconduct call on Luna Shovegood going to the penalty box. So we have a power jam for Daisy Jukes now, who is not lead. So this is going to be a 2-minute jam since the other jammer's gone to the box.
Luna Shovegood in the box, also joined by Mia Psycho. So that is going to put only 3 blockers on the track for FOCO.
Those 3 blockers, though, really giving Daisy Jukes a time as she's trying to break that pack. Terminator now just beating her, trying to push her out, but it doesn't happen. Daisy Jukes with 5 in the sky for Veal Appeal.
And Spitfire actually using Banana Split Your Lip as a cannonball to try and create a hole by pushing the Zombie out. Daisy Jukes dodging around. Zombie gets tangled up with Terminator.
Luna Shovegood comes back in. Meanwhile, on the inside line, she forces her way through that wall. 4 points more for the Spartan Babes.
Daisy Jukes and Terminator. The two kind of stare each other down. Terminator being sent off, picking up a penalty for blocking out of play. Looked like Daisy Jukes also tried to call that, so definitely the juniors have learned from the adult skaters of calling penalties on their opponents and just hoping that the referees agree.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, we've got 4 more points earned by Luna Shovegood, who had a hard fight getting around Banana Split Your Lip in the pack there. Daisy Jukes taken to the outside, gets recycled. Jam finally comes to an end. 0-0 on the last pass for those two, but 66-58. Still such a close game with 6:40 remaining on the clock.
And that small differential right now, we can actually see that the Power Jam differential is slightly larger than the spread. However, it's in favor of FOCO, they've scored more Power Jam points, but they're down overall.
Which isn't what you often see. 0-0 D Blue Demon taking on 7-1-2 Sunny with a chance of bruises. And Sunny finds the front of the pack and grabs lead jammer for Veal Appeal.
And D Blue Demon takes a big hit at the front. She was just about free of the pack. Runs into Hannah Smashed Hannah. Finally does complete that initial pass. They had to let her go outside of that engagement zone. She's going to come around, try and pick up some points before Sunny with a chance of bruises can call it off, but Sunny gets 4 calls off the jam. Deep Blue Diva, nothing on the board.
This is really just as intense as any of the other games I have seen here today. These juniors really out there to keep each other from taking the win.
And the score is now 70-58. 5.5 minutes left to go. Looks like out there on the jam line for Slaughterhouse, that is going to be Spitfire.
You can't miss Spitfire at the back of the pack.
Just look for the jammer towering over everyone else. Number 2.
Allison Chains jamming for the Spartan Babes.
Spitfire being slowed down a little bit by number 6, Linda Calaveri. Just finally get through and is lead jammer for Slaughterhouse.
I think she was slowing down there. She was like, I don't want to pass the penalty box until my ref says something. Either lead jammer or go to the box, one or the other.
Weird Harold trying to lean on Allison Chains. Weird Harold assists the penalty for blocking out of play. Looks like we're also going to have Punko going into the penalty box.
Jam comes to an end. Spitfire picks up all 4 in her scoring pass, and that is going to move Butcher Babes out even that much further. I know FOCO's been demonstrating that skill that they can close the gap. They just haven't quite been able to cross the gap and take over the lead here, but perhaps they'll be able to make a difference here in this last 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Terminator up on the line for FOCO. Banana Split Your Lip up for Veal Appeal.
And Banana Split Your Lip, a little bit of lateral movement, good bouncing back and forth, finding that opening and picking up lead jammer status. But Terminator is hot on her heels, going to try and chase down, force the issue. FOCO wanting to make sure that they don't let Slaughterhouse get too far ahead. Banana Split Your Lip fighting through, grabs her points, calls off the jam, does get all 4. There's 1 point awarded to Terminator. So your score now 78-59 with 3.5 minutes to go.
I'm still kind of blown away by the power points situation here with FOCO having a 9-point gain in power points. That just shows that Veal Appeal is able to get out there, get lead, and get their points and get out.
Well, it really shows when you look at the percentage of lead jams. Slaughterhouse has had lead jam over 50% of the time, and FOCO has had lead jam under 20% of the time.
That is correct. Now this time,
is one of the times that FOCO does have lead jam. However, that is a D Blue Demon out as the lead jammer for FOCO. A breeze of wind jamming for Slaughterhouse. D Blue Demon already through, starting a scoring pass, getting caught up a little bit behind that Slaughterhouse defense. Picks up 4 points, as does a gust of wind. And Slaughterhouse currently holding a 4-1 pack advantage, make it 4-2, and make it 3-2. Some quick players are coming from the penalty box. one going back in. Deep Blue Demon picking up 4 more points, calling off that jam.
I love the way that she called off that jam. Big hand signals. I'm touching my hips. I'm touching my head. And it was forceful. Like, hey, ref, you cannot ignore me. I bet she also learned that from the adults. Because sometimes, you're signaling for a long time. That's probably a good strategy. Hey, call off the jam. That was great.
So with just over 2 minutes to go, we've got a score of 82-69.
And here we go into the next jam. Both jammers taking some spills to the inside. We've got number 3, Banana Split Your Lip for Veal Appeal, and number 2, Allison Janes jamming for Foco, and Banana Split Your Lip, lead jammer for Veal Appeal.
Catching a good whip off of Spitfire to whip herself around from that apex into the straightaway, just giving her that catapult of speed.
Takes a big shot from Terminator.
Banana Split Your Lip into the pack now, takes a big hit from Terminator and also from Crazy Diva. Crazy Diva falls into the infield, gives Banana Split Your Lip a chance to get through, but she gets hung up at the front of the pack there.
Tangling with Terminator. Terminator being assessed a penalty. Looks like that's a low block call. Banana Split Your Lip grabs 5 more points.
Spitfire also off to the box. She's going to take a sit. And oh no, another number 7, Hannah Smash Tana also in the box. So Foco down to just 2 blockers. And it looks like a failure to reform also issued on Sunny with a chance of bruises just before the end of the jam.
Well, unfortunately for Slaughterhouse, there's no room at the end. Neither jammer or neither blocker in the penalty box standing. So Sunny is going to have to return to the track and wait for her opportunity.
5 points going to go. So 5 more points going on the
That causes Slaughterhouse to pull Weird Harold off the track with just under 30 seconds to go. 87-69. Slaughterhouse still on top.
Good win there for Luna Shovegood, jamming for the Spartan Babes. Lead jammer goes quickly to her. Daisy Juke still struggling on her initial pass.
Trying to get around Mia Psycho. And Luna Shovegood taken out by Sunny with a chance of bruises.
Something I didn't see happen until after the jam started. There were also 2 blockers sent to the box for the Spartan Babes. So we had only 2-on-2.
2-on-2 micro pack. Luna Shovegood grabs 4 points, calls off the jam. That's going to put us at halftime between these two teams, 87-73.
That is going to be that is halftime. So as we go
Very, very close, hard-fought, physical bout, but neither team really putting the hammer down too much. I mean, we're seeing some strong defenses to limit those jams to really only being, a couple of scoring passes. Most of them actually 4-point and hit it and quit it.
Yeah, and that's actually a good strategy in Junior Derby. And something we saw too that happened over the course of that half was there were some jammer awareness issues, but I think those got addressed in those first few jams. The teams both able to make a little bit more better judgment on when they should start signaling to call off. You saw less points give ups as we neared the end of the bout. It's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens when we come back from the half. I'm Bangers to Smash.
I'm Wilhelm Scream.
You're watching ColoradoSports.TV. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in about 4. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ColoradoSports.TV. I hope that was plenty enough time for you to go grab something to drink and a little snack while you get ready for the second half of this Junior Roller Derby bout that is taking place. When we left you, Slaughterhouse Butcher Babes with a slight lead, 73-87. Foco Spartan Babes able to keep that score gap really close, but haven't been able to change it yet. I'm Bangers and Smash.
I'm Wilhelm Scream.
And we're going to be back into the action as soon as it happens for us.
We're just getting a quick visual verification, make sure the gear is still all in good shape and still all present.
And I think we got all our stats issues kind of worked out. Everything's starting to look good here.
It looks like if everything is correct, we've got the big scorer for the first half was Daisy Jukes from Slaughterhouse, putting up 24 points over the course of that half. Not too far behind, though, is Luna Shovegood from Foco at 16. So, you know, the score is close. The lead jammer is close.
Can you please come to the announcer staging area, please? Miscommunication to the
and it just remains to be seen with, you know, power jams haven't really come into play yet. It's really been about which team has gotten the lead more often.
And that's absolutely true. And you can tell by the score that Slaughterhouse at 50%, 31% for the Spartan Babes. Looks like we're lined up and ready to go. It's going to be number 00, D Blue Demon versus 257 Weird Harold. And we're off.
D Blue Demon through the pack very quickly, picking up lead jammer for Foco. Weird Harold stifled back inside of the Foco pack and gets bounced to the inside. It was by number 27.3, Brawl of the Wild. 5 points grabbed by D Blue Demon on that scoring pass, closing that gap even more.
And the blockers for Foco doing a real good job recycling Weird Harold and holding him in the pack there. Another 5 go on the board for D Blue Demon.
Yeah, Linda Calaveri trying to lure Weird Harold into a track cut. Very smart pack position play by Weird Harold, realizing that he still needed to come back in behind, but Linda kept just darting back a little bit further. D Blue Demon trying to fight through, and there's a forearm penalty being assessed to elbow penalty. Correction. Hannah Smash Tana going into the penalty box for a elbow. D Blue Demon calling off the jam as picks up 5 more points, but there's also an injury. There was quite a few bodies piling up with each other in that apex between turns 1 and 2.
There were, and I see the medical staff once again checking out the skater just to make sure they're okay.
Over the course of that last jam, however, the Foco Spartan Babes lead change, putting themselves on top for the first time in this bout. They're now up 88-87.
Yeah, just 1 point is going to be, I mean, they're going to have to come in strong in the next jam to build up some differential there for themselves. But way to go, Foco Spartan Babes, getting that lead change after such a long try at it.
They kept fighting it and making it close, and finally just jumping over that gap. And I'm sure that if I was Foco, I'd be more comfortable getting with that 1 point lead change at the end of the second half as opposed to with 28.5 minutes to go. But they are now on top. They've taken a little bit of control over the second half, and they're currently shutting out Slaughterhouse in the second half.
And this is true. So what I'm thinking is, and Sonny with a chance of bruises up and going back to the track, it looks like. So we are good to go. What I was saying is, I think maybe during the half they had some good discussion about what was going on during the first half. Now they're coming back. You're seeing stronger blocker positioning, which they're able to shut down the Slaughterhouse jammers, and also seeing a little bit better jammer coordination from Foco.
Yeah, exactly. They're finding those holes and figuring out how to slice through, and being aware of where their opposing jammer is to say, okay, are they still inside the pack? It's safe to go around again, or maybe it's time to just let this jam reset. Let's call it off and make sure they don't get any points of their own.
And as we saw earlier from Nidaros, that's a good way to do it. Get in, get your points, get out, start over again, do it again. that's the way. That's a strategy that really worked for Nidaros. It looks like it's maybe working for the Spartan Babes as they continue into the second half here. We'll see what happens when we get back to the action. I know there's an official timeout. It looks like they're reviewing penalties right now. So I'll take a second to tell you about RD Nation. It's a smarter way to derby, bringing roller derby to the masses. They help leagues manage themselves better so that you can skate more. Download the free software at rdnation.com.
And again, always, if you've been enjoying the stream brought to you on ColoradoSports.TV, there is that donate button. Feel free to throw a couple bucks our way. Help defray the cost of streaming. It's not free. And we definitely appreciate everything that you can give. If you can't give, by all means, keep watching the stream and spread the love of roller derby. But it's been a fantastic weekend of derby so far, and we've got more bouts upcoming after this one is over, culminating with the Women's Bracket Championship, scheduled to start at 7:30 Mountain Time. Might be a little bit delayed because this track has been running a little bit behind schedule, but we'll try and get back onto that schedule as quickly as possible so that hopefully that championship bout starts fairly close to that 7:30 timeline.
Well, we're going to get back into it. 66 Luna Shovegood versus 20 Daisy Jukes. 20 Daisy Jukes for the Slaughterhouse girls is lead jammer.
Luna Shovegood was slowed down by Banana Split Your Lip. And Banana Split Your Lip being assessed a penalty for blocking out of play. Luna Shovegood looking to come around on a scoring pass of her own, but Daisy Jukes already grabbing 4 points. Calls off the jam. Not before Luna grabs 3 points. And that, my friends, is going to make this a 91-91 tie score, 91 points apiece, 28 minutes to go in this second half.
Who would know that you would have two very, very, very close games back to back? I mean, and it's a Slaughterhouse on both of them. The Slaughterhouse
and Sioux City with a 1 point differential at the end of the bout, and now this turns out there is still a 1 point differential. 4 points were awarded to the Spartan Babes. Got an official timeout.
Terminator there thought it was time to go. She started jamming. She's like, "Wow, I got lead." And that wasn't actually jam start.
Nobody else started skating.
Oh, that was nice. Baconator, one of the refs, tried to block her, not successly, but then she's going to reset. Looks like our official timeout may
probably
have come
thankfully
to
for
an end.
Baconator, she didn't counter block.
yeah, he got lucky there. And now we get started. 97 Terminator jamming for Spartan Babes. Able to get out and get lead jammer again.
Almost as quickly as during that official timeout call. Breeza Wind trying to fight through. She's just being pinned back so far.
Terminator now in for scoring pass. Kind of walks past the back wall. Just one more jammer to go. Hannah smashed Hannah, and she makes it. That's going to be all 5 for the Spartan Babes. They're going to be increasing their lead ever so slightly here.
And a Breeza Wind trying to fight through, but being pinned back. Currently caught up behind number 6, Linda Calaveri, who has been a bit of a defensive force out there for the Spartan Babes. Now, Terminator coming around, sliding off a hit that was put up there by Banana Split Your Lip. And Terminator gets knocked to the inside by Hannah Smashed Hannah. Jam is called off.
Yeah, we're going to line them right back up. I already see 00 D Blue Demon lining up for the Spartan Babes.
And the score currently stands 96-91. Spartan Babes from FOCO on top. 26 minutes, 15 seconds left to go. And now it's FOCO that's starting to pull away.
And D Blue Demon finds that hole once again. She's through, almost right off the jam line. Takes lead jammer for the Spartan Babes. Banana Split Your Lip jamming for Slaughterhouse is getting stuck behind the wall of FOCO blockers. But now she finds her way clear, but not before D Blue Demon's able to find her way through the pack and put 5 on the board.
She was being held back by Mia Psycho. Also 27.3 Brawl of the Wild. And those 2 blockers for FOCO really slowing down Slaughterhouse Jammer. That allows another 4 points to be put up, but 4 put up for both teams. So a good burst of speed at the end there by Banana Split Your Lip to get her points. Scores 105-95. Spartan Babes still on top. 25:50 left to go in this second half.
Official timeout being called. It looks like the clock is a little bit up, so we're going to be reducing the time that we have left. I believe I heard 25:20 will be what's remaining on the clock at the... 25:27 will remain on the clock right now.
So we've noticed, we've just been watching over the course, and now it's Slaughterhouse's time to play catch up. And Foco did a good job playing catch up throughout most of that first half, and then found a way to complete it and get that lead early in the second half. And now Slaughterhouse has to change their strategy. They've got to be the ones that are playing from behind. How is that going to affect their game?
You know, they just got to let it not get in their head. They got to get things pulled back together. We've seen them have a little bit more struggle with their walls and getting their jammer free. So it's really just going to be getting back in that mindset and getting things cinched up again so that they can make the difference happen before the time expires. And with 25:30 to go and only, 10 points separating the teams, it's most doable for them. Zombie number 60.
Knocked to the outside by Hannah Smashed Hannah. Daisy Jukes jamming for Slaughterhouse, and Daisy Jukes assessed a penalty for cutting the track. That is going to put Zombie out there in a power jam, and this is a lead jam for the Spartan Babes. A chance for Foco to kind of start pulling away a little bit to apply that pressure even more to Slaughterhouse, turning it up in the crock pot, so to speak, and is setting it to a steady boil. But good, strong defense right now so far by Slaughterhouse, really limiting this power jam. Zombie not able to complete a scoring pass as of yet. Direction of play penalty being assessed. That is going to send number 712, Sunny with a chance of bruises, into the penalty box. And without Sunny on the track, Zombie finds that hole, gets through, grabs 5 more points for Foco.
Zombie approaching the back end. She's got a lot of fans in the audience. Every time she has a win out there, you can hear them go crazy. Zombie comes in, takes the fall. She's going to go ahead and call off the jam. Does pick up 2 more points, though, in her last pass.
That's going to put the score at 112-95 with 24 minutes and 10 seconds left to go.
That means Foco now able to bring it up 17 points between the two teams. Still not an impossible number for Slaughterhouse, but it does make it tougher the further you let your opponent get ahead of you. That's going to be Spitfire jamming for Slaughterhouse because she towers over everybody else. We know this.
And then that is Luna Shovegood. You can easily spot Luna because of the bright pink in her hair. Luna Shovegood is out first, but is not lead jammer. That allows Spitfire to get lead jammer status, and wisely, seeing that Luna was coming up on the back of the pack to start a scoring pass, Spitfire calling it off, making sure that no points are scored.
Another good strategy. Sometimes I see in games where jammers burn the clock when they're behind. You don't want to burn the clock when you're behind, so that was wise of her to go ahead and just end the jam as soon as she got the call, so that that's that much more time that the Slaughterhouse team has to make up those points that they've got deficited right now. Number 97, Terminator, up on the jam line for Spartan Babes, and number 257, Weird Harold for Slaughterhouse.
And Terminator dealing right now with Hannah Smashed Hannah. And Hannah, she finds an opening. Hannah had to let her go. Meet Your Maker was also out there, and Terminator just found that seam between the two. Weird Harold been somewhat limited, at least in the second half. Terminator just kind of turning on the jets, getting around, went from outside to inside, good lateral movement, grabbing 5 points. All those points, calls off the jam.
Yeah, she I think that was why she saw that Weird Harold got out of the pack around Fireball just as she was making her scoring pass. Going to go ahead and shut it down. Don't want to give up any points to the other team, too, if you don't have to. 117-95 with 22:20 remaining on the clock. I just happened to glance out the door there. The snow is really coming down outside, but it's nice and warm and toasty in here with all this derby action, keeping the building nice and toasty. Mia Psycho 3-2-1 jamming for the Spartan Babes, and 7-1-2 Sunny with a chance of bruises. Important jammer for the Slaughterhouse team, out and lead.
And she's actually gotten lead 80% of the time that she's been on that jam line. So that's key. That gives you the ability to control that clock and control the jam. And Mia Psycho into the penalty box. That is going to put Sunny with a chance of bruises on a power jam. Grabs all 5, including that jammer lap point. Slaughterhouse clawing their way back into it now. They're the ones playing catch up and using this power jam to their advantage.
Sunny coming in hot, takes a spill. Yeah, I heard the hit all the way over here through my noise-canceling headphones. She does find her way up and through, though. Another 5 points go on the board for Slaughterhouse. They are definitely working to close up that gap right at the moment. Coming back, Mia Psycho.
Back out of the penalty box. Sunny with a chance of bruises. Getting tangled up there with 988. That's gnarly, and Sunny with a chance of bruises. Low block penalty. That's going to put Spartan Babes on a power jam.
That's right. So Mia Psycho now in on a scoring pass taken to the middle. We thought by Banana Split Your Lip, but and in fact it was. She was taken into the middle. She gets a cutting the track penalty. She gets to go take a seat, and we're going to switch it back over to Sunny.
Sunny's going to come out of the penalty box, and Mia Psycho's going to serve a very abbreviated penalty.
There it is, power jam over. Sunny in the back of the pack, finds her way through. She's going to put up some more points here. That's going to be all 5. She was eligible for the jammer point.
This is a full 2-minute jam with both jammers serving penalties. Mia Psycho at the back of that pack trying to fight through to complete a scoring pass of her own. Gets a big hit from Spitfire. Goes down hard. 2 more points being put up for the Spartan Babes, which puts the score currently 119 to 110. And again, like happened in the first half, we've got that weird situation where the team that's leading is actually down when it comes to power jam points. Spartan Babes holding a 9-point advantage, but they're holding a 16-point disadvantage in the power jam.
And it looks like we're getting another official timeout. Yes, that is very strange to see. But again, it looks like when we look at lead percentages now, we're almost splitting it 50-50 because Foco has come back in this second half and really grabbed lead jammer after lead jammer after lead jammer. I mean, we're 38-47 with only a few jams where there were no lead jammers declared. So you can see from earlier when we were reporting Slaughterhouse with a 60%. Yeah, you can see that's really changed up now after the second half has progressed.
And we're still looking at all the stats. Seems like the largest jam that anyone's had so far is a 15-point jam with Sunny with a chance of bruises that did put that up. But it's been a while since she's had that big of a jam. So it remains to be seen what ends up coming out of this. But Slaughterhouse closing that gap that Foco was starting to spread out, and it's good come from behind strategy that's been exhibited in this bout by both teams. And both teams also doing a very good job of holding the lead as long as they possibly can, just by stretching it out and make sure their opponent only gets those 4 and only gets that slight differential as opposed to getting a huge 20 or 30-point differential.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a real important thing. Don't let your jammer get trapped if you're not lead. You don't want to let the points bleed away.
And Luna Shovegood and Abriza Wind. Luna Shovegood quickly off that line and picking up lead jammer status for Foco. Abriza Wind trying to find an opening, but being pinned back behind 00, D-Blue Demon.
Terminator trying to take her out as she makes her way to the front of the pack, missing, but giving enough time for her blockers to get up front and hold up the jammer. Luna Shovegood back at the back there trying to make it around Hannah Smash Tana.
Luna Shovegood and Banana Split Your Lip both went down, but it was incidental. Absolutely no issues there. Luna does grab her 4 points, calls off the jam. We've got 18 minutes, 45 seconds to go. The score is 123 for the Spartan Babes, 110 for Slaughterhouse.
It's just madness in here. The auditorium's starting to fill up with people interested in seeing what happens with this as we get closer to the end of this juniors bout. Number 9, 8-8, I Gnarly up on the jam line versus number 20, Daisy Jukes. And we're into the jam. I Gnarly goes for the inside.
Gets knocked down by Spitfire. Daisy Jukes also out. Daisy Jukes picking up a penalty, being assessed a penalty for an elbow. That is going to put I Gnarly on the power jam.
2 on 3 in the pack as I Gnarly comes back in. She gets some help from number 6, Linda Calaveri.
The two that I Gnarly has to get past are Weird Harold and Spitfire.
Now just Weird Harold left, and there she goes. She's through. It's going to be another 5 for the Spartan Babes, who are now working to increase their lead.
That was a good assist from Mia Psycho, knocking Spitfire to the outside to knock it down to only 1 blocker for I Gnarly to get around. I Gnarly getting tangled up, falls down. Both of the Slaughterhouse blockers getting back ahead, but their Terminator was the one putting the hit on, and Weird Harold actually taking the penalty for it. Again, opening up that hole, allowing the jammer to get through. 133 to 110 with 17 minutes, 15 seconds to go.
23-point differential now earned by the Foco Spartan Babes. Again, we've seen 23 points happen. It's not impossible for Slaughterhouse to come out.
Not by any means, especially the way that both these teams have been fighting. 23 points, 2 jams that go Slaughterhouse's way, and suddenly we're looking back at a 2 or 3 point game.
And I thought maybe it was going to happen there, but 0-0, D Blue Demon finds her way out first on the outside. Lead jammer going to D Blue Demon. And number 3, Banana Split Your Lip, chasing her down now. She is out of the pack and eligible to score.
D Blue Demon coming up on the back of the pack. Her teammates taking the back wall. And D Blue Demon wisely and frantically calling off that jam, grabbed all 4 and was able to get that call off just before Banana Split Your Lip was able to get any points.
D Blue Demon very energetic about calling off her jams as we've seen before.
Just wanted to make sure that everyone in the entire arena knew that she was calling it off at that moment.
That is right. That's a great way to do it, though. I mean, get that big signal. Make sure the ref knows that what's going on. It looks like we're going to have Spitfire up to jam again for Slaughterhouse, and up against Luna Shovegood. I'm sorry, that's Linda Calaveri jamming for the Spartan Babes. Spitfire out lead jammer, but really only about 10 feet separating the two jammers, and now even more. And they're coming into the pack.
And Linda Calaveri using a good move, getting around Spitfire and then out through. Ends up with Linda Calaveri, the not lead jammer, grabbing 4 points. Spitfire only 2 points. Just wasn't able to call off that jam quick enough once Linda had gotten past her.
I think she was hoping that she would get in and be able to make easy work of the wall, but they did trap her at the back there. She couldn't find her way through, and started to call it off. Unfortunately, Linda had already gotten past pretty much every blocker out there.
The score is currently 141 to 112 with just over 15 minutes to go.
We're off again. Number 8, a breeze a win for Slaughterhouse. Number 66, Luna Shovegood for Foco. Luna Shovegood lead jammer as she breaks the front of the pack.
And Luna Shovegood's been very strong in this second half. She's part of the reason why Foco has pulled themselves back and holding the advantage right now in the score. Luna Shovegood knocked to the outside. Banana Split Your Lip pushing her out. Luna Shovegood calling off the jam as she grabs her 3 points. Puts the score 144 to 112, 14:32 left in this second half. Looks like we're going to reset, get ready for another jam. There's going to be Linda Calaveri and Weird Harold on the jam line.
And here we go. We're off. Linda Calaveri to the outside. Weird Harold kind of sticking with the middle, looking to get through there. Linda Calaveri taken into the infield by Daisy Jukes, who is double threat out there. Weird Harold, though, finds a way through the inside, runs that inside line. Lead jammer going to Slaughterhouse. Linda looking to chase him down and stop him from putting too many points on the board. Weird Harold into the pack. He gets 0, but he holds the Spartan Babes to 0 as well.
That
so no movement in the score.
Looked like Weird Harold actually got a block from Brawl of the Wild to kind of help spring him free to pick up that lead jammer status. So we've got 13 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. No change of score, still 144-112. Foco Spartan Babes on top.
The 3-on-3 pack for
Number 988, I Gnarly, taking on number 712, Sunny with a chance of bruises. We've seen these two come together before. I Gnarly looking to make a path along the inside, beats down a breeze of wind and takes lead jammer for the Spartan Babes.
Oh, and Zombie coming through in that pack and taking out Sunny with a chance of bruises.
Whistles happening, I think. Sunny with a chance of bruises. Yes, going to be picking up a cutting the track penalty as I Gnarly back in for a scoring pass, able to walk right by the wall at the front there. She's a little bit shorter, so they got to be really aware of this jammer. 5 more points on the board for the Spartan Babes.
And quickly back around, already in scoring position again, comes flying into the back of that pack. And a breeze of wind trying to slow her down. Has decent contact, but breeze of wind has to let her go. I Gnarly grabbing another 5 points on that pass.
This is what the Spartan Babes really want to do here, increase that lead, and they've done a really good job of that the last few jams. They've gone up to a 42-point differential now between the two teams. That's going to mean a little more work on Slaughterhouse's half if they want to make a tie or a lead change happen. 42 is quite a bit to need to put on the board.
Yeah, that was very smart of the call off by I Gnarly. She actually called it off as Son of the Chance of Bruises is merely standing in the penalty box, so they've only got one jammer on the track right now, and that is Linda Calaveri, giving her a higher likelihood of picking up lead jammer status, which she does. And the lead jammer status now, it has swung the other way. Foco now has had lead jammer slightly more often than Slaughterhouse. Linda Calaveri already through, grabbing 5 points on that call off. Correct. That does grab all 5. That was able to get that a jammer lap point.
Yeah.
So we've got a score of 158-112 with just over 11 to go in this bout.
Coming up here on track number 1, we are going to see Lane County taking on Uinta Madness.
And it's going to be number 00, D Blue Demon, taking on number 20, Daisy Jukes.
We are lined up and ready to go once again.
A couple of frequent jammers, both in their 9th jam. Deep Blue Demon trying to find a hole on the outside. But Daisy Jukes gets through and picks up lead jammer for Slaughterhouse. That's going to be huge, especially with Deep Blue Demon picking up a track cut penalty right there. That is going to put Daisy Jukes out there on the power jam. Slaughterhouse looking hungry, trying to get some power points, and Daisy Jukes grabs 5 points. Bring them up on the board. That pack at a standstill, allowing Daisy Jukes to come around very quickly and catch back up. Big collision there. Zombie and Allison Chains slowing down Daisy Jukes, but she's back up on her wheels. Grabs another 5 points, completing a second scoring pass. T-Blue Demon is standing in the penalty box. Her time has almost expired. She can rejoin the fray.
Daisy Jukes calling off the jam. She does make some movement for Slaughterhouse. 122-158 with 9 minutes and 49 seconds showing on the clock.
And Spartan Babes hanging on.
Number 988, I Gnarly takes the jam line for the Spartan Babes. Number 3, Banana Split Your Lip up for Slaughterhouse.
And for the Spartan Babes, our key to score right now, that is Daisy Jukes, holding 38 points so far.
Nice crawl through the inside line for Banana Split Your Lip. She takes lead jammer. I Gnarly now clearing the front of the pack as well, looking to chase her down and keep her from scoring too many points.
It was almost like I Gnarly found a hole and was forgotten about for a brief moment by the Slaughterhouse wall as she just snuck her way through. Banana Split Your Lip calling off that jam. Did grab 3, but looks like I Gnarly grabbed all 4. So the score is 162-125, just under 9 minutes left in the second half.
37 points, so Slaughterhouse able to narrow that points gap these last couple of jams, but still they have quite a ways to go with the clock continuing to tick down.
Yeah, there is still time for them to make up that gap, but the clock is becoming as much of an opponent as the Spartan Babes, and they really need to, honestly, they need to just keep putting that pressure on Foco. And a Breeza win right here, picking up lead jammer status. That's one great way to keep that pressure on.
And Spitfire at the front there doing a really good job holding up Luna's shove good. Also a good thing to do so they can get in, get some points, and they have control of the jam right now.
Looks like Slayer Moon being sent to the penalty box on a back block. And a couple of points, just 2 picked up by the Slaughterhouse, but they held the Spartan Babes scoreless. So we've got a score now of 162 to 127, just under 8 minutes left.
And that is
Daisy Jukes lining up for the Slaughterhouse team, and number 6, Linda Calaveri for Foco.
Linda Calaveri around, finding that hole. Linda Calaveri picking up lead jammer status. Daisy Jukes forced back, and smart play by Ainarli, forcing Daisy Jukes into a cutting the track penalty. That's going to put Linda Calaveri on a power jam, and this could be a chance for Foco to put that last nail into the coffin.
That little bit of pressure may be what all it takes for Foco to take the win. And Linda back into the pack. She's easily through. It looked like Hannah Smashed Hannah thought about hitting her, but said, meh.
That was already her second scoring pass. She got 5 each time. She's coming around for a third now. And just pushing and fighting her way through. Finds the inside opening. Grabs another 5 points. Calls off that jam.
15 points on that jam for Foco. 127, 177, 6:38 remain on the clock. And while still doable, it's going to be tougher and tougher as that clock continues to tick down for Slaughterhouse to make a comeback. I think Foco is enjoying getting these lead jams and being able to continue to push out that score. We're currently on a team timeout for Slaughterhouse, possibly talking about strategy and how they're going to change this up before the clock runs out.
And the big thing they need to do is they need to find a way to stifle those Spartan jammers, because one of the other things that happened, aside from the jammer getting through, is Linda Calaveri was coming around the turn, saw that Daisy Jukes was standing in the penalty box, wisely called off the jam. That's going to allow Zombie to start out as the sole jammer, giving it the higher likelihood that Foco will once again get that lead jammer status. Looking at the power points now, it's very close between the two teams. Number of power jams is very similar. Number of points scored on the power jam is very similar. Only 4-point differential now. But now it's starting to play out in the way that we normally expect, where the team that has more points on the power jam also has the lead. And once again, that is Zombie out there, going to be jamming for Foco. Daisy Jukes will be jamming for Slaughterhouse once she completes her penalty time. Zombie being slowed down, almost stopped by Sunny with a chance of bruises, but Sunny couldn't hold her back completely and lost her own traction. That allowed Zombie to get through and pick up lead jammer status.
That's it. With Daisy Jukes now rejoining us, still struggling to get through the pack, but there was a big fall there, so she got up quick, was able to take the inside line. She's eligible to score. So now Zombie in trying to get all 4 points before she calls it off, but she is going to go ahead and call it off. Let's see how many she picked up. She did get 3 for the Spartan Babes, so that's going to take them to 180 versus Slaughterhouse 127 with 5:53 remaining on the clock.
And Slaughterhouse has been pushing. So that's one of the things that I've noticed as a difference, is that when Foco was down, they didn't really seem to start panicking. And it looks like Slaughterhouse might have actually panicked a little bit and forced themselves into some unnecessary penalties, which has just given that advantage more and more to Foco. But Spitfire right now, lead jammer, trying to make up some of that ground. And so far, number 6, Linda Calaveri, unable to get through that pack. Takes a big hit, actually delivers a big hit to Weird Harold to complete that initial pass. Spitfire coming around, already grabbing 4 points. And Spitfire wisely calling off that jam before Linda Calaveri can catch up to the pack.
Don't forget, coming up next on this track is going to be some men's roller derby association bouts. It's going to be the Dallas Inception taking on Uinta Madness right here, coming up shortly after the junior bout comes to an end. 4 minutes, 44 seconds remaining on the clock. We've got number 66, Luna Shovegood, lined up, and number 8, Abriza Wind for Slaughterhouse. Abriza Wind, right off the line, the whistle's blown. She's out in lead.
Slaughterhouse getting a couple of quick lead jammer calls in a row. It's one of the things that they need, but they also need a little bit of help with their blockers holding back the opposing jammer or forcing that jammer into a penalty. Abriza Wind calling off that jam, 4 points and nothing for Foco. Slightly closing that gap now, 135 to 180. 4 minutes left to go.
But with a 45-point gap, I don't know if 4 points at a time is going to be enough for Slaughterhouse at this point, or if they're just going to, their blockers really need to work on focusing on holding up Foco's jammer, or they're just not going to be able to overtake that lead.
Exactly. It's at the point now where the 4-point hit and quit it doesn't get you back fast enough.
Number 6, Linda Calaveri, out front right now. Just Spitfire to go for her to get lead jammer. And that's going to be it. She takes Spitfire out of play and gains lead jammer at the back of the pack here. Banana Split Your Lip still looking to get out. Taking some big hits, and she's down, so she's going to have to start all over again. Oh, actually, she's going to get a forearm call. And that's Power Jam for Linda Calaveri. Now, if earlier wasn't the nail in the coffin, I have a feeling this Power Jam may be.
And there's a chance that with Linda Calaveri skating around that, she might actually be setting sights on trying to break that double century mark for her team.
They don't have that far to go, and she has picked up a number of points for her team in the past.
Linda Calaveri actually was pushed outside and did end up picking up a penalty for cutting the track, it appears. She is being sent off for cutting the track. It's not a jammer swap because Banana Split Your Lip already finishing her penalty time. So that's going to make this a Slaughterhouse Power Jam.
That's it. Maybe some hope for Slaughterhouse if Banana Split Your Lip can get in there and get out. Banana Split Your Lip, though, taken out hard to the outside by number 7 for the Spartan Babes. That's Fireball. And then Fireball called on a penalty, so she's off to the penalty box. And another out-of-play block being issued to a Spartan Babe. That was just the initial pass for Banana Split Your Lip. That took her some time, so we're not looking at Slaughterhouse being able to pick up a whole lot of points here, but now she's in and looking to put points on the board.
She's indeed Linda Calaveri standing in the penalty box. Remember, she was on a scoring pass prior to entering. There are 5 points right there being picked up by Banana Split Your Lip.
Linda Calaveri back and puts 5 for her team on the board.
That's going to put the score at 140 to 190 with just over a minute and a half to go. We've got Terminator taking the long skate around.
I think that we actually have a foul out. The game is not over. Terminator is leaving the track. So is...
All right, so right now we are back to a 50-point differential here.
I don't know if they're leaving the track or if they're going to get something, maybe. Because I see him coming back, maybe. Oh, no. I think 321.
Also Mia Psycho. But right now on the track, we do have a lead jammer. That is Sunny with a chance of bruises, who is lead jammer. Luna Shovegood just forcing her way through to complete that initial pass. Sunny with a chance of bruises, knocked to the inside by I Gnarly. And Sunny with a chance of bruises, calling off that jam.
It was soon enough.
Grabbed 2 points for Slaughterhouse, nothing for the Spartan Babes. Closing that gap now to 190 to 142, but there are only 35 seconds left on the clock. I mean, the way this tournament's going, I wouldn't be incredibly surprised to see a 50-point jam, but it would be an amazing moment to happen. Slaughterhouse has a lot of ground to try and make up, and they might be looking at this next jam as kind of that moral victory learning jam.
That's it, or the small wins jam even could be the thing to go for. So D Blue Demon jamming for Foco, getting hung up at the back there. Weird Harold jamming for the Spartan Babes, gets tripped over by his own team member as he goes down, but he doesn't let it phase him. He's back up.
He took a big hit from Zombie, and that lead jammer call going to D Blue Demon. That's going to put Foco Spartan Babes in complete control.
And D Blue Demon did look at the scoreboard as she came by. She knows the clock is gone, so she's just out there to put some more score on the board. Comes through with a big hit from Hannah Smash Tannis. She's going to call off the jam. That is going to take us to the end of the bout. We'll wait for the official word on the final score.
Looks like D Blue Demon grabbed another 3, and Weird Harold did grab all 5, including that jammer lap point. But we are close to the end of this bout. Keep in mind, we've got more Derby coming up after this right here on ColoradoSports.TV, right here from Mayday Mayhem 2014. If you have been enjoying the broadcast, feel free to click on that donate link, throw a couple of bucks to help defray the cost of the stream. Whatever you can is greatly appreciated. The score currently 193 to 146. And that is the official final. Foco Spartan Babes winning this bout over the Slaughterhouse Veal Appeal.